Say hello to the people, Phil.
I'm gonna kill Praxis.
Yeah, we are. All right. Welcome back to After the Hype, your review show for games that we play on Hype, H.Y.E.P. Have you ever played over at twitch.tv/2pennygames, in which Phil and I, my name's Tavin, by the way, play games live in which we show each other one game that the other has never played before. Yeah. For example, I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. I showed him Metal Gear Solid for the first time. We played it live all the way through. His hands on the controller. And this week, Phil, you showed me a little game called Jak 2.
Yeah, we played Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy before, and now we played through Jak 2.
Yeah. And then just some quick facts, because I like game facts, man. I like knowing some stats. Yeah. I like some stats, man. So Jak 2 initially came out October 14th, 2003. And then as of December 2015, these are the best sales numbers I could find. As of December 2015, Jak 2 sold 2.78 million copies globally, over half of which were in North America at 1.68 million, and then 0.74 million in Europe.
Fun fact, in Europe, it's called Jak 2 Renegade.
That's a better title. Maybe I just like subtitles.
Subtitles?
I don't know. Renegade's a good name, though. It's a good name. Renegade, funny enough, Renegade, one of my favorite songs, by Jay-Z featuring Eminem. Great song. But that's beside the point. We played the HD collection, which came out February 7th, 2012, which are their PS4 remaster? No, it's a 2012, so it's gotta be
I believe it was a PS3 remaster, but ported to PS4.
Ported to PS4?
And then ported,
and we played on PlayStation 5, but I'm sure that made zero difference. Yeah. And then, in comparison, Jak, the first one, December 3rd, 2001, sold 1 million by 2002, and Metacritic of 90. Jak 2, this is what I found interesting, because it's not what I hear from the conversation about the series. Metacritic of 87. So just a little lower.
Well, yeah, I mean, understandably, because
but not a bad number.
No,
by any means.
No.
So, but understandably because
I was just saying because it's overall as far as difficulty goes, and there's a lot of at least in the HD collection, there's a lot of small glitches and stuff like that.
Right, but this number is from the original game.
Oh, from the original. Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, I was thinking of. I thought we were looking at HD collection.
No. I don't care what the HD collection.
I don't know. Just overall, it's a different game. Definitely more niche audience for this one. Because the first one's just a nice 3D platformer for anybody. This is the first one rated T for teen, Tavin.
Oh my god, the teens are here.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Overall, just as far as difficulty, different. It's entirely different game.
Yeah. Oh, for sure it is. Yeah. We got like a baby
baby's first GTA.
Baby's first GTA kind of stuff. Where you're robbing cars and you're driving around and flying around and stuff. And you got your little
killing
open world stuff. You're driving from mission to mission and so forth. But Phil, as the fan, tell me what Jak 2 means to you. Tell me why you like it and all these things.
Jak 2. Although I recognize it's not the highest quality of the Jak series, it is my favorite of the 3.
Okay.
Well, of technically 4, but 3 of the main line.
Right.
I don't know. There's something about it to me where it just takes me back to times where I would just be alone in my room playing on PlayStation 2. Maybe have a movie on in the background on the other. Because me and my brother, we shared a room. So he'd have his stuff on one side of the room, my stuff on the other side of the room. We both had TVs, so we'd be we'd be able to be in the room with each other doing our own thing.
Right.
And so maybe my brother would be watching something and I'd be playing games on the PlayStation.
There you go.
And it just brings me back, there's something about because originally it wasn't even my game; it was my brother's game.
Sure.
So it got passed down to me, and I was like, man, this is awesome. I can
go anywhere.
I can go anywhere. I can shoot shit. I can take hover cars from people and drive around a city, and I can go extra edgy mode and and slice people up with my claws, and I can slam on the ground and explode shit, and I could ride on a hoverboard, and it was just awesome. It was a great time
for back in the day.
Yeah.
Playing it now, how do you feel though?
I think it's probably a little bit less as far as the game goes. I still have a great time playing it. But you know, when you're a kid, you got those rose-colored glasses on. When you look back, you know,
you're just playing whatever you can play. So
yeah, exactly. You have what you have. You don't really have like a disposable income to like buy whatever games you want.
And
you
then
know?
still forming tastes. And,
yeah,
you know,
you're figuring out what you like.
Yeah,
and I like me some Jack.
There you go. Moving to me.
Yeah.
As a first-time player in 2021, almost 2 decades later, I did not have a good time playing Jak 2.
No.
No.
I mean, I think it was apparent.
If you watched our streams, and if you go, if depending on when you're listening, if you go and watch the YouTube videos that are up, which will be a while from now if you're listening at release, I just could. I wanted. I tried, and I just couldn't. And then for context, I liked Jak 1 fine. It wasn't like great, but it wasn't like, by any means like a bad time. This one, I had a bad time. And I'm not.
Would you say this is the first one of the games I've shown you that where you had a bad time?
Where I had a bad time from beginning to end, yes. Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 1, I had bad times within the time, like, overall, but there were moments where I was like, okay, this is fine, this is fun, or I'm having fun in this moment, or whatever. But here, I can think of maybe one time where I was like, okay, I like this is good. Every other time I'm like, I would so much rather be doing anything else right now. And I'm not comfortable enough to say that to think that this is objectively a bad game.
Because it's not.
But I
recognize that it has a lot of faults.
It's got a lot of faults. But it checks all of the boxes in my brain to that like make me go from this is good, this is a fun time, to this isn't good, this is a bad time. But it doesn't check enough boxes for me to like be like, this is objectively a bad game. Also, I'm almost 2 decades separated from it, so like I'm trying to put it in that context. Mm-hmm. But even when I put it in that context, I'm looking at games like Ratchet and Clank 1 and 2. I'm looking at Metal Gear Solid 2. I'm looking at fucking, like, I think the first Ultimate Alliance was more fun than this game. Like, and maybe that's just some rose. I haven't played that first game in forever, but like, so on and so forth. And then like, maybe I think like the first God of War game, maybe, or maybe that's still like later down the line. But like, man, just I felt that this game is just a mess of design choices. Like, at every opportunity we made, like, from a design perspective, we made a choice that it wasn't the intention to do this, of course. No, I doubt any developer intentionally does this. But at every possible choice made, the game became less fun. We're gonna have this open world. Okay. We're going to do our GTAs come out. We're going to do, like, we're going to take some cars. We're going to fly around. We're going to have this open world fly mission. We're going to have this big, giant, sprawling hub world. Okay, cool. However, we're going to have very tight, very narrow corridors and alleyways that the player has to navigate through at high speeds, and anything they do triggers police action. Not anything they do, but any, like, aggressive thing that they can do, anything that, like, you interact with the buttons, anything that causes you to press a different button other than walk around or jump, will likely alert some police action.
I'd say because, like, the thing is, it's only if you interact with the Crimson Guard. Everyone else is fair game.
You start shooting civilians, they're going to come after you.
Not necessarily. You can hit them with cars, and they won't do anything.
Well, yeah, you hit them with cars, but if you shoot them, they'll come after you. If you start punching them up, they'll come after you. Fairly certain.
I'm not entirely sure if I can't remember. It's been so long.
Fairly certain. It triggers that. So now I have to to avoid this police action. I have to at high speeds get into one of these like jet bikes and blast off. Okay, fine, that makes sense. GTA does the same thing, but what GTA does is it allows you to have a car that can take a little bit of a beating. That is not the case here in Jak 2. You take like 3 hits, you bump into 3 things, and your car explodes and kills you. And even in that, like, a lot of GTA games, like, they'll give you enough health to feel like you can, powerfully do something. I don't feel that way in Jak 2. You can take, 3-4 hits from Crimson Guards, and then you're dead.
4, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think the game does a good job either UI based or just visually of telling you when you're at critical health and when you should play it safe. There's no sound indication. The health meter goes away at all, like as quickly as it comes. There's no like visual indication of like, oh man, I'm weak on health. When Spyro is weak, the little fly is a different color.
Different color, yeah.
Which tells me, okay, I need to play it a little safe. When Ratchet is weak, he gets kind of droopy and his ears come down and he looks tired. When Sly Cooper, and I know you haven't played these games, when Sly Cooper is low on health, his health meter is there. It's on the screen. You can see it. But with Jack, it's just like, yo, as soon as I'm at critical health, like I get out of an encounter, there's no health items. There's rarely health drops in boxes and stuff. In the open world, there is none.
Yeah, that is a big problem.
So I'm running around from mission to mission with the same amount of health that I left the last mission in, and I'm just gonna die immediately. So like as soon as I get into the level, it's bam, kill you. And it feels like, and this might just be a fault of the times, the levels are designed in a way to where your best chance is your first time through. Because once you respawn and reset, now the timers are off. The spawn timers of the enemies animation timers are off, how they behave, their AI behavior is different. So now you're basically just starting fresh. So any progress I did make that first time is completely reset, and now I have to readjust, but it's not like a complete readjustment, it's just a slight tweak. And that slight tweak is just enough to throw the entire experience off. There's studies shown that when you're climbing steps in a staircase, if they are off by as much as 2 centimeters, the chances of you to trip are way more likely. And that is the issue here of when you respawn and everything gets reset in these ways and everything is just slightly different. It feels that way.
I think the only thing that does carry over like that, as far as like when you die, are the platforming things. As far as like spawns go, it just resets everything, and it once you kill something, it's dead until you die again.
Right? Yeah. And then, dude, there were some enemies in this game that feel like they take more hits than I do, which is strange.
Yeah.
I'm thinking specifically those big spider bots near the end.
Spider bots near the end.
Yeah, there's the big ones. They're in the same area as the big mammoth fuckers that would like electrocute the ground. And shit.
Yeah, because those are ones that like are introduced only in that one area.
Yeah,
and then it's because it's like the end game. It's this is the walk up to the big boss.
I'll say I like how the guns feel. Each of the individual guns, I like how they feel. But with the exception of the purple one, and you'll forgive me that I don't know the names of the individual guns. The Peacemaker, you said?
Peacemaker's the purple one.
With the exception of that, all the guns do the exact same amount of damage. So why would I ever use the shotgun ever again? And I understand in my playthrough I was using it a lot, but that's because in my brain, because how most games are, if you got some type of wave-based, short-ranged weapon like that, it's gonna do a little more damage, but that's just not the case here in Jak 2. In Jak 2, that gun does the exact same amount as the carbine, that gun does the same amount as the light machine gun.
Well, I think the main thing that you're going for with the scatter gun is crowd control.
Yeah, some crowd control.
So you want to like back them up,
which that makes sense, but it leads it to where I have to play, and this is a tricky balance with any video game.
It's all very tight.
Yeah, you have to play it. You have to play the game its way, or the highway. That's a tricky balance. Sometimes games do that, and it hits, and it works. I think Metal Gear is an example of that. You play it its way, or you don't, and you get fucked up. At least with the first one, and I would say even the second one. The third one, you have a little more freedom. Dark Souls games. It's the game's way or the highway.
Oh, for sure.
But in those games, like, there's still some flexibility of, like, being able to have your own little taste and spin on it. But if you're not looking to play it its way, then it's just not going to be the game for you. Here, I think Jak 2 falls into the bucket of going too far with that. And being, yo, it's my way or the highway. Well, your way isn't fun, dude. Like, I'm not having a good time.
I'm not trying to take away from anything you're saying.
No, and for sure, like, obviously we differ in opinion on this game, but that's fine.
No, this isn't really like that. It's just funny that obviously you're making a point with like the whole Dark Souls thing, but it's funny when you think about like the whole game reviewer thing, where like this is the Dark Souls of platformers,
right?
Like,
you know, whatever.
People always say this is the Dark Souls of whatever.
Yeah, right. But I'm just drawing that comparison specifically.
I knew
with
what you were doing.
With that element of how this game works, and it's just like I never feel empowered, ever. I never feel like there's the Dark Jack mode, which is supposed to kind of be your win button, but even then it doesn't feel like a win button to me. Sure, you get some more health back, which is nice, but you can still get killed while you're in it, and it doesn't last that long. And the damage is there a damage boost?
Yeah, with your physical attacks, yeah.
Physical attacks. I mean, I know there's the big bomb moves that
one
clear
and then
screens.
The jump one.
Yeah.
So that is kind of meant to be. You also, I don't remember you using it all that much.
I didn't, because I never felt empowered, and again with the UI, like it would disappear and I would forget that I had it. You know. And it's just a thing where it's just like I just don't feel, if they just put like a little purple aura glow on Jack, like just like a little effect, just to be like, hey man, you have this ability when you want it, just something, give me some visual indicator that I'm low on health, or some visual indicator that I have my super move ready and available for use. It doesn't even have to be on Jack. Put it on the edges of the screen, and just put a little purple glow on the edges of the screen, just a little slight one, just so that I can start building a visual language in the combat to be like, okay, if I'm weak, and I know I'm weak, I can pop this at a dire moment and bounce back and overcome the obstacle. But instead, I feel like I'm just constantly banging my head against a wall again and again and again. There's that one mission where you're in the poor part of town. It's the docks area or whatever.
Oh yeah, that one's a piece of shit.
You've just got to fucking fight your way through thousands of Crimson Guard.
Yep.
Fuck you.
Yeah, you can't even like hop on the jet board and then try to skip anything. There's no way around it.
I don't think there's any health drops.
Nope.
Could be wrong.
Zero.
Like absolute fucking garbage.
All it does is occasionally give you more ammo.
Anytime there was a mission in the open world, I hated it. Like I did not like it. When we narrowed down and we got tight, we were in the tight corridors, it became tolerable. But it was a matter of like, man, I'm just not having a good time, because I feel like everything is against me, from the tight corridor level design, from Jack's fragility, from the weapons all doing the same amount of damage, so that I can only use them in very specific instances. Otherwise, you're either using the yellow gun or the blue gun, but the blue gun runs out of ammo way too fucking fast. From the way the ammo drop system works, if I'm in a level where the shotgun is useless to me, stop giving me shotgun ammo. You know, if I'm in a, like, they have it set to where, like, there are set boxes that give you health drops, but everything else is just random based on ammo counters. But if I was fucking around in the open world before I went into that mission and I used up all of my blue gun, but this is a mission that requires the yellow or the red, don't give me blue gun ammo. Like, either have it set to be like, hey man, this is the gun you should be using in this level. We've said that this is us saying, hey man, it
does most of that if like, not from boxes, but the enemies you kill, like when they drop ammo, it'll give you like kind of what you need. But the boxes are set on like what you said,
on just whatever has the lowest ammo.
Yes.
And it's just like, yo, I don't need the blue gun for the little, like, small guys. I need the shotgun.
What's crazy is like, even though you might be out of it, the Peacemaker, the purple one, it hardly ever drops anything for you. Like,
No, yeah.
Like, I want to say
I had used that gun maybe
a very, very
4 or 5
low
times.
percentage of stuff. They fix all of that, like, ammo, all the ammo complaints you're having in the third game.
And then everything on top of that is, with the ammo counts specifically, like, what is just the nail in the coffin for me when it comes to combat and design is, if I enter a level and I don't have enough ammo for the type of gun that they want me to use for that level, and I'm using the other guns, and then I die and reset because I don't have enough ammo for the gun you want me to use, but now I've used ammo in the guns that you don't want me to use, so now you're only dropping ammo for those guns. So now I'm stuck in this endless fucking loop of dying, resetting the entire way, because the checkpoint system is fucking terrible in this game.
Terrible checkpoints in that game.
And then just being forced into this constant loop of not having enough of what I need ever. And it's just like, fucking Christ, like, just like, let it be like, if I exit combat, I regain health outside of missions. Like, if I'm in the open world, I'm in combat, fine, my health doesn't come back. But as soon as I leave combat, Give it back to me. Or at the start of every level, give it back to me. Why am I still at critical from 3 missions ago? Like, why? What is the reasoning behind that? And then the health drops don't give you enough health, especially with enemy. Like they
only regain 1 hit.
It's what, 8 hit points?
Yeah,
something like that.
And
but most enemies' attacks are worth 2 points of damage.
Yeah, enemies will hit you with anywhere between 1 and 3 health.
Yeah, so it's just, but most are 2.
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then just giving me a health pack that only gives me 2, it's just not enough to cut it, especially with the amount of enemies you throw at me every fucking mission. It just feels like a trap every time. And dude, don't even get me fucking started on these goddamn escort missions, where I don't care if my escort has a gun or not. They're paper fucking thin, and they die so fucking easily, and I can do damage to them and kill them myself. What the fuck? And then later in the game, you have escort missions in which my objective is to not kill the enemies. It's to solve a puzzle while they hold off the enemies.
And then, if you do hit them, they will hit you back.
What about this is fun? Jesus.
All of it.
And then there's missions where, oh, you're on a timer. You gotta get to the end of the city as fast as you fucking can. But most of the city is tight fucking corridors with 2 lanes of traffic. And you're just bumping into fucking everything. And it's just constantly, like, I'm just constantly having to either car hop as quick as possible, which slows me down, or I have to hop to a car that's not as fast as the one I'm using, because it dies in 2 hits as opposed to 4 hits that the bigger car takes. But the bigger car is bumpier, and just because of its size, and because there's no, like, clear drifting in the game, and the turning radius is so fucking wide, you're gonna hit walls, you're gonna hit other cars, you're gonna hit something. And
I think the goal of that was to, it's like risk and reward, right? So, like, you won't get any notoriety by going in the top lane where you can hit other people.
Yeah.
But you can hit other people, so it's gonna damage your car.
Yeah.
Or you can skip the traffic and go bottom lane, but you might get some notoriety.
Yeah,
by hitting somebody else.
Which in the beginning, I believe you found myself hanging out at the bottom for most of the time, and then eventually I learned to swap back and forth as much as I could.
And like once you get the hang of it, like you'll just be like switching back and forth, like without hitting anything.
But my thing is like. I agree with you. That is the objective of why they designed it that way. Mm-hmm. My point is that it doesn't work though. Because I'm still just so fucking fragile that, and the timing windows for those, we're gonna call them race type missions, even though there are races in the game. But those hurry up and get to the
race against the clock.
The race against the clock missions, like the timing is so narrow usually to where it's like, oh, I got to fucking go, so I can't slow roll it, I can't take it, I can't play it cautious, I've got to fucking go. And the levels are so tight, and the city is so crowded, and there's so many cars in the space that like there were so many times where it's like, oh, there's a Crimson Guard in my way, let me go up. Oh, I fucking went up straight into another vehicle, so now I'm fucked. But I couldn't go around the Crimson Guard because the fucking alleyway was too narrow.
Just hit the Crimson Guard at that point, you know.
Yeah, but then I'm getting chased, and then they're shooting me, and then I'm losing damaging cars that way. So it's just too much at once, and there's not enough give for me to feel good or for me to have fun. And it's not the type, and it feels like it wants to be the type of game to where, yeah, man, blast everything. It feels like it wants to be Ratchet and Clank with a GTA twist, is what it feels like, but it's not. At every point, it's not. And I don't know if that was a specific decision of like, Insomniac's doing that, so let's kind of do that, but let's put a twist on it so that it's not that, so that we have our own identity, which is fine. But you just didn't pull it off. You just didn't quite get there, and it's just enough missteps along the way to where overall the entire package is soiled for me. And oh my god, I don't think there's a clearer evidence of this game has faulty design from the jump than the races. Like the actual, like, we're going to the Coliseum and we're fucking racing. Like, talk about just a comedy of errors. Like,
you loved those
again
races.
And again and again. And it's the pinnacle of what I'm saying here, where the turns are too tight. The area is too small. You're taking damage from other racers that are bumping into you. They're bumping into you turns you more than you actually turning the wheel. Why? You explode at just the slightest inconvenience. if like you just slightly like come at it, like not even like at a 90-degree angle, like if it's just like it's sort of at a 45 and you come at it straight, you're dying. And that's just it. It's not like coming at it and just bumping into it and bouncing off, which does an absurd amount of damage as well. But it's just like you run in and you explode, and then there's jumps that are coded in ways to where like if you're going too fast, you're gonna hit the ceiling and die. Fuck you, dude. I don't know where I'm gonna land on this jump the first time I take the jump. And then the races are 5 fucking laps. 2 laps too long. And I know you're saying, oh man, it's a short courses though. They're not that short. Like, or at least that's what you kept saying on stream. I don't think they're that short. Like, they really feel the same length as the race courses in Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. And at least in that game, like, sure, you were fragile on those bikes as well. You would blow up and die a lot. And then on top of that, racers had weapons which would blow you up. And sometimes that's unfair. Like, there's a heat-seeking missile weapon in that game. Yeah. And if an enemy gets his hands on that, all right, you're basically dead. Like, you're done. But it doesn't reset the entire race. Now, sometimes it's like, well, I died 3 times in a row, so I might as well just reset now anyways. But, like, if I die once, it doesn't reset it. It just puts me back a little bit, and I respawn, and then I gotta catch up, and I do some catch-up. Like, it's still winnable. But here, you die, you're done. Start over. It takes these races that should be 2.5 minutes, is, I think, the amount of time.
It's a little, like, anywhere from, like, 25 to 30 seconds a lap.
All of this builds to a point of, okay, well, fuck, I'm so powerless that, like, I just can't do anything. So these 2.5 minute race segments take me 45 fucking minutes because 1, I have to learn the course. 2, I have to learn the jumps. 3, I have to learn when not to boost off the jumps and when to boost the jumps. 4, I have to be able to somehow manage to make some of these tight ass fucking turns which require me to just full fucking brake and stop so that I can hit that radius correctly. And there's no way to drift. There's no, like, way to, like, quickly round these tight corners. You just have to slow down and take them. But it doesn't feel like the AI has to do that. The AI can make whatever turn it fucking wants. It feels like. I don't know if that's true, but that's what it feels like. And then when they're bumping you around, you're getting thrown off, you're getting forced into walls, you're losing health at every opportunity. And then you get to the end and you feel, and enemy racers are taking your speed boosts, which you need to stay in the lead. And it just feels like at every opportunity, we're trying to impede player progress. And it never feels good. Ever. That said, just so I'm not entirely negative, I did overall like the boss fights in this game. Every time a boss fight came up, I was like, okay, this is tricky, but this is doable. I like this. Like, This is fine. I liked the final boss. It took me forever, and it did wear me down because I was at the end of a play session, and I was already worn down. But I did like the final boss a lot. I did feel like he got a little too close to you a little too quickly. But like, you know, it wasn't like the rest of the game where I felt like there was a learning curve to it and I felt like I could get that. When you're fighting the general dude in his robot suit, you do that twice, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Both times I liked that. The weird fat dude who's in the chair and is sending electric holograms at you. I liked that fight. He was a total pushover, I felt.
Yep.
You know what I didn't like though? I didn't like when they changed the camera perspective and they put you in like those like classic like Crash Bandicoot run at the camera segments, or when that the giant bug is following you and your depth perception is off, and you know now you're not making jumps that you would make if it was regular. And I didn't like. There's no fucking checkpoints at this bit, so every time I fail, I have to reset. Do 3 waves of puzzle solving, which I've already fucking solved, so now it's just tedious.
That's the number one complaint.
And it's already puzzle
difficulty.
It's already puzzle design that wasn't that ingenious to begin with. And then it's just a constant barrage of just wearing you down and beating you to a fucking pulp to the point to where you're like, I just don't even want to play video games in general anymore. Ugh.
Something funny about that like final boss is so I did that final boss because I was trying to like do platinums on it.
I'm sorry if you can hear my dog barking. The neighbor is doing yard work now.
Yeah, she's freaking out.
Yeah.
I was like, I did the boss fight. You were really afraid of him. He's kind of a pushover. Like,
is he really?
Yeah. Like he'll get close to you. The only thing that will even get close to hitting you is whenever he does that really what's the word I'm looking for? The real like they basically show you that it's about to happen.
There's the pre-animation of hey, he's about to attack. Or whatever.
Where he's about to like swipe at you with his hand. That's the only thing that will kind of hit you, and you hear like the audio cue of him charging up the blast or whatever, so you can just roll out of the way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you just basically spam.
And then there was like a flash, like they'd put out like a white flash, like hey, he's about to shoot you or something.
Yeah.
You
were
moment,
running away more than you needed to in that one.
But that's probably because it's a game where they taught me to do that.
Yeah, exactly. You were traumatized.
You know? And dude, and I could only stand to play this game in about 3 hours at a time. So it took us, 4 or 5 sessions?
Yeah. Over a month.
And I could only stomach so much, and every time we came in, I'd be like, all right, this time we're gonna be forgiving. We're gonna try and get in tune with the game. We're gonna try and find the vibe. What is the vibe the game wants? And it just constantly, at every turn, just wanted to beat me to a pulp. In not in any rewarding way, just in a in our God of War 3 review, which we've already recorded, but you haven't heard yet at the time of listening to this. We talked about rage gates. And how
this has a ton of them.
There's random difficulty spikes in games where like it just beats you up for no fucking reason and it doesn't feel good to get past it. It's not satisfying. That's how I feel every moment in this game. Every moment is a rage gate, except some are way worse than others. I don't like talking this negatively about games, especially games that you like, you know. But
you thought I was going to get all like upset about this. I'm fine.
Yeah,
because I know how you feel about it. I mean, it's not going to change how I feel about it.
Right? No, of course, and that's fine. I'm not more power to you if you like the game, but I definitely did not. And again, at the end of the day, like I don't feel comfortable calling it a bad game. I do think it has terrible design, but that's one element of an overall.
I agree with you. No, it's really fucking hard, and for a new player, like you're gonna get frustrated, you're gonna get angry, you're gonna get upset, but like just I don't know, there's just something about it. Me as a kid, I don't know, I love that game.
Yeah, but like, I mean, but there are moments that I'm like, okay, but this element is good. It does feel good to shoot the weapons, and when the weapons hit their targets, they do feel good. I do wish I could aim the weapon. Like, I wish there was an easier way for me to hit when I'm trying to hit, because there were many times in our playthrough where I'm like, fuck, I aim too far left. Fuck, I aim too far right. Fuck, I'm too far left again.
That doesn't really change.
And then I feel like I queued into this early where I was like, I don't feel like Jack turns fast enough for what the level is making me do. Like, if I get surrounded, I'm gonna take a hit because I can't get Jack to turn around fast enough.
Well, at that point, it wants you to use your melee attacks. Like you can do the spin.
Can you do a quick turn like punch or something and do that?
Spin.
Just spin.
Like if you're
and then I feel the same way about the spin and the punch as I felt in the last game, where like they don't feel powerful enough. The spin isn't wide enough for me to feel like it's effective. Can
I tell you a secret?
Yeah.
The guns.
Yeah.
Do the same amount of damage as your punches and kicks.
No, I know they do. But my specific thing with the spin is that it's not wide enough. The spin needs to be a little wider for me to feel like it's effective. The punch is too narrow, so I can't like and it's a longer animation, so I'm more vulnerable with the punch.
I hardly ever punch. It's always the spin kick.
Yeah, and just I don't know, man. Like it just constantly, like I just feel like it was constantly trying to not be fun, and I'm sure it wasn't the intention. I'm sure like devs came out and made the best game they could. I have no doubt of that. But now, nearly 20 years later, I play this game and I'm like, this just isn't fun. Like this is very disappointing, and especially from one of my favorite studios ever. Like I adored the first Crash Bandicoot game. I'm excited to get to Crash 2. I don't have to say how big of a fan I am of Uncharted and The Last of Us. Like I fucking adore those games. I'm on board with whatever Naughty Dog chooses to do in the future. But Jack 1 was a solid meh for me, and this one was just a solid like, nope, I'm cool. Like I don't need any more of this experience ever again. I did not have any fun.
Jack 4, baby.
I did. Just to bring a little more positive here, I did appreciate the attempt at having a little more narrative focus this time. There is more of a story here. There wasn't really that in the first game.
The first game, it's like, we got to try to fix Daxter.
Yeah, you're like, all right, I guess we're doing this.
People trying to destroy the world.
Yeah, and then
stop that.
And then the comedy in this game way better, which allows one of my big complaints of the first game was Daxter's a character. Daxter felt like an asshole to me from front to back. Here, he's still a jackass, but his jokes land, so now I like him a little more. He makes me laugh, so I go, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. And then
I've said it many times, but the writing only gets better in all the games,
which is what I would expect as time progresses in the video game industry and Naughty Dog becomes a more story-centric studio, leading them to release narrative masterpieces, in the future, with games like both Last of Us and Uncharted 4. Maybe not a narrative masterpiece, but a really good story. And then where was I going? So I did appreciate the attempt at a narrative focus. I do like the humor. The humor hit more times than it did.
Yeah, right.
And even if it didn't hit, it wasn't like it was just like a.
It wasn't like a cringe. It was like
it's just like I thought occasionally it was a little cringe, but overall I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. But it had me chuckling multiple times throughout the experience. And then to speak to Daxter's character improving, when you die, he doesn't get in your face and tell you it's your fault like he did in the first game.
One thing I like that he does is when you die, he'll dramatically stretch out and be like,
yeah, like I'm dead too. Yeah. See, that's charming. That's fun. That's, oh man, he's with me. He's alongside me. In the first game, he felt more antagonistic towards Jack, and which made me feel like, man, fuck you, because I'm Jack. However, I don't like the direction they took Jack's character, and I understand it's like, man, he didn't have a character in the first game. He was the silent protagonist. His character design is not. I would not have gone for dark emo boy.
When you're tortured for 2 years.
Yeah, that's a paper thin excuse. Like,
saying that's what happened.
But as he becomes reacquainted with his friends, he should become lighter, but he doesn't. He's that same one note, and
he's only light with Daxter.
Yeah, and though I appreciated the narrative focus, the story did have the structure of we are going to set up and complete narrative threads in the same mission. So no mission really feels tied to each other.
They grow tighter and tighter throughout the series, like as a duo, Jack and Daxter.
Okay, that's cool. I want them to be friends, so that would make sense. But I mean, specifically, hey, we have this issue. This is what's going on. Okay, great, we solved it. And then it's never picked up again. It's never a repeat thing.
Do you have an example? Because you said that a couple times, and I was like, I mean, it's all just kind of building up to
It didn't feel like it was building. It just felt like, hey, we have a mission for you. It felt...
So the overarching thing is you're putting together, you're helping out this resistance to take down the Baron.
Yes. But it's not the way you would do that is, okay, our objective is to take the castle. But in order to take the castle, we have to get through this. And in order to get, let's say, through the doors, we have to build a battering ram. Okay, so now we've connected a narrative thread of we want to take the castle, or we want to beat the bad guy. Bad guy's in the castle. We have to take the castle. To take the castle, we have to knock down the doors. To knock down the doors, we have to build a battering ram. To build a battering ram, we have to do this. It's all these steps. In Jak 2, it's, hey, soldiers are running amok out in the streets. Go fight them. Okay. Hey, we have these guys. They're our guys. Go save them. Okay. What do? Nothing. They're never going to come back. Oh. Well, then what's the point? And then at the end, it all builds to, hey, we're going to go take down the Baron. Oh. The Baron gets killed by an enemy that you didn't know was your enemy. Or, hey, we're building up this resistance. Oh, guess what? The city divulges into chaos because the wildlife outside comes in and overtakes the city. Nothing. There is no narrative.
I feel like you weren't paying attention.
There's no connecting thread here between these missions.
What I think happened is you were so distracted by your rage at the game, you weren't paying enough attention to the story.
Dude, it's not there. It's just not there. It's the paper thin excuse of you're working with a resistance. That's it. That's all that's on the page. Everything else is, here is the conflict. We're solving the conflict. Same mission.
So one of the first
and
things...
then that conflict is not connected to the next conflict or the third conflict or the fourth conflict. That conflict was only a conflict that one time.
So one of the first things that you do for the resistance is you go and you shut off, you turn on water for the slums, and then you there's other parts where you cut off, you destroy the Baron's ammo dump, like to help to stop them from like whatever. It's nothing that's like visual in gameplay, but it's more and more chaos that you're causing to disrupt the Baron's army and disrupt the Baron's power. I
understand that, but those things are not shown gameplay or cutscene. They never come back. As soon as it's hey man, we're gonna go do this. Okay, let's go do it. And once we do it, it's dropped. It's never brought up again. It's never, hey man, because we destroyed their thing, that now leaves this base vulnerable. It's never that.
I'm just saying, not every game is going to be, destroy this food thing, so all the soldiers are hungry now.
I don't need every mission to be that way, but I need it to be there somewhere. There is never that. It's never there. It's always just, we're going to cause chaos for the sake of chaos. I feel like
you want everything to be Metal Gear.
No, I want everything to have a story, and I want everything to make sense and be connected. I don't need Saints Row to be Metal Gear.
Okay.
But in Saints Row, there is a connective narrative thread between mission to mission, so I understand why I'm here and what the stakes are. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like I get all of that whenever I'm playing Jak 2. I just think that you weren't paying attention. I honestly think that's what happened.
Man, but I played the game for 20 hours. Like I tried, and every week I would come in and I would try.
Yeah, I know.
It was never anything.
The only
narrative connecting thread that I can think of is fat dude in the chair betraying you. That is the only thing that had connection from missions previous and post. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
sure, I guess, but like, I disagree.
What it feels like is we built a mission, so now we need to put context on the mission, but we didn't plan any type of connection between these contexts. So it's just all context under the paper thin thread of cause chaos so we can perform this coup. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just we have 15 missions and we have to give you a reason. We have to give you a motivation as to why to do these missions. But there's no connecting motivations between the missions.
Okay.
Like I'm not doing A to get to B. I'm just doing A.
I have to agree to disagree is all.
All right. I mean that's fine. But that is what it is. Yeah. Overall, I didn't have a good time with Jak 2. And if you love Jak 2 out there on the internet, I'm sorry that I just fucking ripped your game apart. But
you don't have to be sorry. It's your opinion. You don't have to be sorry for your opinion.
But I don't want it to come off like I think you shouldn't have fun with the thing you have fun with. Is my point.
No, I get that. I don't think you're coming across that way.
Thank you. Because if you have fun, more power to you, dog. There are games that I like that I know other people don't like. Yeah. And that's fine. Yeah, but it's just this one I really did not like.
I really don't think you're coming across that way.
Okay.
As a fan of the game.
Sure.
Like, I don't feel that.
All right.
If you feel that way, fuck you. You're dumb. That's obviously not what we're doing.
I'll take that. Anyways, so we like to do ratings here at the end of the game for reviews. Little number ratings just to put a little period at it. What did I give Kingdom Hearts?
I don't remember.
Was it like a 5?
No way.
Or a 4?
You weren't that low.
No, it wasn't much higher than that. Couldn't have been.
I don't think you've said anything under a 5.
It might have been a 5. Kingdom Hearts 1 might have been a 5.
I don't even think you've given a 5.
We'd have to go back and look. See, this is the thing. We should write these down. We keep talking about it. Maybe I'll go back and I'll write them all down and I'll make a little Google Doc about it. Jak 2. Where are you putting Jak 2 while I assess myself?
7.
7?
7.
Okay. More power to you. 4, dude. Like hard 4. Like there are things to be enjoyed. I could understand why someone would find some things fun in here, but
I'm probably thinking too much nostalgic. I'll say a 6. I'll give it a 6.
But like and I'm trying to put my personal feelings aside and maybe look at like the construction of it as objectively as I can, but I just feel like just at every step the design falters.
Hey man, how you feel is how you feel.
The direction and design falters, and it's just a hard 4 for me, dog. Like
how you feel, buddy.
I do not think this is a good game. I'm not comfortable calling it bad, but I'm not.
No one's judging you on giving your opinion. If they do, fuck them.
Fuck them. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that has been your After the Hype review, damn near 45 minutes long, of Jak 2. Remember, you can watch us play games live at twitch.tv/2pennygames.
Yep.
Ironically, our peak numbers were when I was at peak rage for the game.
Yeah.
Just every time I was pissed off and mad
content, baby.
And just fucking yelling at the screen, that's when people were watching. Oh, we didn't even talk like our funniest, like one of our most favorite moments we've ever had on
the game.
We broke this fucking game and it glitched out. I was invincible, walking on lava.
You couldn't interact with anything.
Couldn't aggro enemies. I could kill enemies, but I couldn't aggro them.
You couldn't interact with any collectibles.
No collectibles, nothing. No objectives, nothing. I couldn't do anything. I was just walking in a broken level.
Weird. I had never seen that before in my life.
Very strange.
I guarantee you, it's a HD collection thing, like a port thing.
I mean, it might be, but it felt like a bug that would happen in that era of video games.
PlayStation 2, in my many hours of gameplay, I've never seen anything like that.
It did equivalently lead to our biggest scare, where we thought we had lost 3 hours of progress.
I won't say it was 3 or 4 hours.
In which case, we would have not made it through the game. I would have been like, "Listen, Phil, that's a sign, man. It's done. It's it. We're done with this." Yeah. But yeah, we reloaded. We were okay. We fixed it, finished it out, and we had a time with it.
Oh god, we were talking about fucking golden Bond films.
Yeah, 007, and we were like, and I was sitting here, I was like, "Is the game broken?" And you were like, "I don't think it's broken." I was like, "I think it's broken. Let me jump into the lava real quick." And I just walk on the lava, and I'm like, "This is broken."
That's so funny.
It was a great time. Anyways, twitch.tv/2pennygames. Come check us out as we play through all these games we love and games we hate. And have a good time. First playthrough, first experience, first raw reactions, 100% real all the time.
God, it was raw. we win in raw on Jak 2.
Oh yeah, we did.
Or did Jak 2 go in raw on you?
Definitely felt that way. Anyways, also,
oh my god, you got raw dogged
by Jak.
Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog raw dogged me.
Yes.
You bastards. Fuck you,
From
Neil
2003.
Druckmann. Neil Druckmann's not even at Naughty Dog.
I was gonna say, Neil Druckmann hadn't been. He wasn't even. He was Last of Us, isn't he?
Nah. Well, he directs Last of Us. I believe he came on during Uncharted 2.
So several years later.
Several.
Probably
I think Amy Hennig is still there for this game.
Nearly a decade.
Amy Hennig, go fuck yourself for Jak 2. All right. All right. You made one of my favorite video games of all time in Uncharted 2. But go fuck yourself for
I want to look at the game
Jak 2.
director.
Listen, Amy Hennig, I hope your fucking Marvel game's a piece of shit because of how Jak 2 was. No, I'm playing.
Game director. Jak 2.
It's gonna be like one of the
Jason Rubin.
Jason Rubin?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking jump off a bridge, Jason.
Jesus.
I'm playing. Don't really do that. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for Jak 2 After the Hype. Please go look up our other After the Hype reviews, youtube.com/2pennygamescast. We just put up our Resident Evil 2 review last week. Go check that out. Go see how Phil felt about Resident Evil 2 Remake. And then we've got God of War 3 Remastered coming out next week. Keep an eye out for that. I've got some fun YouTube videos in the pipeline. I'm working on them. I'm editing them. I can't tell you when they're coming out because I'm a busy boy.
Quick thing. If you're a Jak fan, I highly recommend going and checking out Breadsword's retrospective on the series. It's really good.
Solid. There you go.
Really good video.
Go do all that. But until next time, have a good time. And Phil,
yeah,
say goodbye to the people.
Yeah, see ya.
You leave them on a downer?
See ya.
There we go.